Okay, so as for the houses, I'm going to start with my personal favorite was The Walking Dead, just because I am a freak fan of the show, like, completely. Oh, I love that show. And so it really did match, like, it had a lot of elements from the actual show itself. It was pretty long, honestly, and I got scared there quite a bit because they really took me by surprise. There were a few times where I'm like, okay, so I see the zombie and then, or the walker, as you call him, and then I like turn around because I'm like, okay, he's not looking at me. And the next thing you know, he'd like jump right in front of me when I'd walk behind some kind of pillar or something like that. It was really great. They had all kinds of stuff there from the show. So they had like in front of the exit where you come out, they had the car with the sign, Sophia, wait here. They had all the supplies on it. They had the bus. I didn't really see anything from the cast itself. I really don't remember seeing any of the people trying to impersonate cast members. But there was in front of the entrance, there was that one zombie from the very first pilot episode. There's that zombie that Rick shoots. Like the very, very first scene. That one little girl that's walking. She's actually there, and that was cool. I was like, oh, it signifies the start of it all. So that was really cool. And that was where Disaster was. So that, I think, was probably my favorite house. I did get scared there quite a bit. They did a lot to amp it up, just because of the series being so big. And I may be a little bit biased on that one, though, just because I love the series. I heard some people say, oh, it was really bad. But then I also heard a lot of people say it was the best house. So it's probably either you didn't like it or you liked it a lot. So my second favorite house, though, was Silent Hill. That one. Oh, man. They did the most detail on that house. And they really wanted to. Like, that one was specifically supposed to have the most detail. And they did a great job with the ash as soon as you enter. They had the cop there as soon as you enter. They have Pyramid Head. They have the nurses. They have all the little guys that come out when the sirens go on. It just, I mean, it fit the show, or the movies, and the games perfectly. They did such a good job at that house. And it's very, very eerie. Wow. I love the lighting. There was perfect lighting going on. Everything was always had like an either grayish tint to it or like a reddish tint to it. It was loud, as it should be, for like when the sirens go off, and just kept you on edge. I love that house. Probably definitely my second favorite. My third was, man, that's a hard one. Probably Dead End. Probably Dead End. I think that one's pretty much the scariest house, though, honestly. Dead End just had your classic haunted house, and they did it so well. The house itself, whenever you walk in, which was one of the back lots, so the entrance was beside the rocket. You would walk behind there. They used different sound stages actually this time. It was kind of cool than last year. Most of them were the same, but they added an extra one. Anyway, getting off topic. Yeah, Dead End, the house itself, as soon as you enter, it just looks so realistic. It's just, because you can see the whole house, and then you walk up the little steps onto the front porch and then into the house itself. And it was horrifying and just great at the same time, because the spirits, the people that played them did really well. All of the houses, they really had good actors to scare people, but that one was quite eerie itself. Probably the scariest. Second scariest, I think, was, I freaked out on Alice Cooper. Alright? That's because they got me every time. Like, I was in my group, and I was at the front, so they jumped out at me first every time. So, I think that's why that one scared me the most, just because they attacked me the most, just so happened to. But yeah, that one was very good as well. The entrance to that one was over by E.T., and the actual event itself was one of those domes that's to the left of The Simpsons and to the right of Men in Black in that back area. Which don't even get me started on that back area because I think that's a whole bunch of land and that they should probably do something with it because that would be great. They could add even a freaking whole other area to the park because I looked at it online and guess what? That's even bigger than the new Wizarding World expansion area. Just saying, that would be awesome. Right now they're using it for the Halloween Horror Nights. They have those tents, dome tents, whatever you want to call them, constantly up all year round, and I'm pretty sure they are already planning and redecorating for next year's Halloween Horror Nights on those. I don't think they use them for anything else. But they also store all the parade stuff. They have this giant overhang that they're storing stuff behind back there. So they are making use of that land. But they could do some stuff. If you guys, if Universal wanted to. There was also, I liked Gothic. I really did. It was very nice the first time I went in because I didn't know where anything was, and the whole, you look down to your left and you see that church way below you was so awesome. They did such a good job with designing that to make it look real, like you're really, really high up in the cathedral. And as well, they have this one part where one of the gargoyles is like flying, and he's just on like a tightrope, but that was really ingenuitive. I like that because it caught your attention over here, and you're like looking this way, and then there's this guy that would come out and jump at you this way, which got me the first time, but after that I kind of knew it was coming. So I think Gothic was great the first time you go on it, but once you know where everything is, it's like, okay, I'm just going to look at the scenery now. Not quite as scary. Still scary, but not quite as much. So Ben & Teller's Nuked Vegas, though, if you're a fan of Ben & Teller, you probably loved it. I liked it. I loved it, but I don't really know anything about Ben & Teller, so I just had that to go off itself, just the house. What time am I at? 7? Shoot. Okay. It was pretty much the exact same as the In-Between last year. So they had 3D glasses, and the rooms, there were mirrors everywhere, and the lights they were pretty much LED lights everywhere. Blue, red, and green were your basic colors, and with all of them reflecting off the mirrors everywhere and your glasses on. Oh my gosh. One of the rooms gave 2 of the people in my group serious headaches. They were like, okay, I gotta take glasses off, I can't do this. But myself, I kept them on, because it really didn't bother me that much. But holy crap, that room pretty freaking, drugged up. I mean, that was really good job, really. There were, mirrors everywhere, so you don't know which way the guy's coming from when he jumps out at you, and he's blending in with all the lights, so you don't even know he's there with the glasses on until he's, actually there. And with the glasses on, things have much different appearance, so it looks like he keeps coming at you. Even if he stops here, he's still coming at you. It was just such a good job. So that itself was a very ingenuitive house, and it had clowns at the end of it, and I know a lot of people are terrified of clowns, and these guys did a very good job at coming out at you, surprising you, and just having this, the face was so morbid. Oh, clowns. I don't really mind clowns, but that one was just okay, that was just a good scare. I don't care what the heck you are, that was a good scare. You could just be a person, and that was a good scare. And finally, the House of Horrors. I loved the new ingenuitive way of combining isolation and claustrophobia and just pure fear all together. They have this one area where you have a little hallway, alright, and it's probably as high as oh shoot, it's on the camera. It's 4 feet tall, maybe, and 3 feet wide. So it's teeny tiny, and you have to duck down and crawl your little body in there, and perfect, alright? So people that are claustrophobic and afraid of small casings, this house would freak you out, let alone for that one part. And as well, there's no, you just feel so isolated, and there's no way you can just back up and get against your little corner, because you have your little hallway, and you're in the middle of it, and guess what? You're looking down, and there are a bunch of freaking people like reaching out for you underneath you, and they're just popping out on every side, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not like you can, in most houses, if you're afraid, you can just like get against a wall or something like that. Well, in this one you can't. You have to keep walking forward in your little area and freak out. I loved it. It was ridiculous. When I came up to it, I was like, I can't do this. Nope, I'm gonna walk that way. I'm just, no. I did it though, and it was great. Then at the end, they also have Frankenstein, and he's like walking down a hallway, and they have lights going on and off and on and off, and he gets closer, and the light comes on, and he gets closer, and the light comes on again. He gets closer, and finally he like breaks through these wooden beams, and like comes running at you. It was pretty great. The house was pretty much based on just your old-fashioned Frankenstein and Creature from the Black Lagoon and all those kind of good old story myths type thing. You know what I mean. So it was, I think, it was supposed to be like a black and white house, because that's, when most of the stuff was filmed in black and white, but it's still like, it had color to it. So that's all houses. The only thing that I did notice is that because of the Wizarding World expansion this year, they didn't have the Jaws area to build a house where they did last year. Because they just used the queue line last year from Jaws. They didn't actually have that, so there were only 7 houses this time instead of 8. But I was told that this year they had just the Jurassic Park area alone. So just that one little part you could actually walk over into an IOA, and you could go in that area, which I'm like, if they're gonna open that, shouldn't they have built a little house there so they could have 8 again instead of just 7? That would have been kind of cool. But honestly, I'm not sure if that was even open. I heard it was, but that was just a one-time thing, so I don't know. If you know if it was or wasn't and you want to comment, then feel free to. That'd be kind of nice to know. But I'm hoping next year they'll go back up to 8 houses again. Regardless, there were so many people this year, and so much street experiences to do, as well as the show. They had 2 shows. I only went to one of them, which was Bill and Ted's Adventure again. It was like last year. Just honestly, I don't think it was quite as good. I loved last year because there were so many good jokes and stuff, and this year there wasn't as much to go off of. Sure, you had the election. Sorry, the election. I hate Obama. I'm just gonna say that. Anyway, you had the election, and so they made fun of both candidates, which was, it was funny, but there weren't as many jokes to go off of as much. There wasn't as much pop culture to make fun of this year. Last year was very funny. It just made fun of just society and how bad it was. So, all in all, though, it took me 3 times to go to Halloween Horror Nights this year to experience it all. Because the first 2 times, I only got to, like, half the houses, and the last time I was able to get to them all. So, it was very good, though. And even if they don't have 8 houses next year, I'm pretty sure 7 will suffice again, because it takes so long to get to everything. There's just so many people. Great experience, though. Loved it. So, looking forward to what you guys are going to do next year, Halloween Horror Nights. I know I'm going to be going again next year. I can't wait. This year's theme was zombies. Last year's theme was Lady Luck. The year before was 20 Years of Fear. So, next year's, I have no idea. No idea. Anyway, I will see you guys later, and I think that's all the reviews I'll be doing for right now. Bye.